guy right here lied to you. Do you really think that meditating, not playing video games, not hanging out with friends, and not drinking alcohol is gonna suddenly make you rich? Right now, you're at ground zero, meaning you have no money, you have no connections, you have nothing really. And you think that by doing these things of just locking yourself in a room is gonna suddenly make you rich? I tell you right now, that's just not the case, and that's honestly just bad life advice. The self-improvement and productivity gurus online often tell us how our actions and our habits will eventually lead us to the lifestyle that we want, but have we ever thought about the opposite? Have we ever thought about how our lifestyle actually influences our habits to begin with? The simple reason that you cannot focus, the reason that you scroll endlessly even though you know that it's bad and that you should get back to work, or the reason that you eat unhealthy food even though you know you should eat clean and go to the gym, or the reason that you stay on the couch instead of going to the gym, or doing all of these bad habits that you know you shouldn't be doing, is simply because your life is boring, unfulfilling, and simply, honestly, depressing. The reason that you do all of these bad habits is that they're an escape mechanism for you. All of these things, such as playing video games or drinking alcohol or scrolling on your phone, are all just ways for you to escape from the day-to-day trauma that you face from, honestly, your unfulfilling and boring life. The reason why you scroll so much is because it gives you that little hit of dopamine that you need to keep your day going. The reason that you play video games so much is that it's the only fun thing you have in your life. Studying doesn't give you any fulfillment. Your job gives you no fulfillment at all, so you go back to playing those video games, or you keep going back to scrolling because it's the only thing you actually look forward to, or honestly, at a worse note, only things that actually get you through the day. So now you must be thinking, what I'm saying right now probably doesn't make sense, because monk mode actually seems to cut out all of these bad habits cold turkey and get you onto the right track. So now, while in theory this makes sense, in practicality and in execution it doesn't work at all, and I'm going to tell you why. When all you have is work, and especially all you have is work that you really don't care about, and it's work that you just kind of have to do to get yourself through the day or pay the bills, or it's just work that you just really don't overall enjoy. So monk mode, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's simply a protocol where people for 3 weeks to 6 weeks to even 3 months at a time is just a complete state of immersion. It's basically where you honestly just lock yourself in a room and just work on really important tasks, and you just work on important tasks to achieve a certain goal in a certain period of time. It seeks to cut out all distractions, and it seeks to cut out all distractions and to keep you completely focused on what you have to do. So in theory, it makes sense that following this protocol will get rid of all the bad and unproductive habits in your life so that you can get your life back on track. However, the problem with monk mode is that your life is already pretty bad as is. It's boring, unfulfilling, and depressing. So when you stack monk mode on top of this, and you only focus on working, how much more likely are you going to be to go back to those things that gave you those short dopamine rushes to begin with, whether that be scrolling on your phone or playing video games? When all you have is work and it's unfulfilling and boring as is, you're going to be so much more likely to go back to doing those bad things that you didn't want to do to begin with. This is something that most people don't talk about when on self-improvement, that before it gets better, it actually gets far worse, because all of these good habits that you're trying to implement into your life are so boring, are so monotonous, and these are things that you don't want to do, that you're actually going to start scrolling, playing video games, and doing all of these bad things at actually a far worse scale, because these things are stressful, and your phone and video games is a way for you to escape. So now this goes back to my initial thing that I said at the beginning of this video. Gurus often talk about how our actions lead to our lifestyle that we want, but I honestly think our lifestyle right now influences the actions that we want to take. Now let's completely flip the scenario. Let's say you live somewhere with an extremely scenic view. It's just like a whole mountain view, or it's a beachfront, or it's just an ocean view. Whatever your ideal scenic view is, just think of that for a second. And instead of an alarm clock, forget all about that. You wake up with the earth, you wake up with the sun, and you wake up naturally. A whole lot of sunlight enters your ginormous windows, and it causes you to feel peaceful and excited with the day. And instead of waking up alone, you have a beautiful girlfriend right next to you who says good morning to you in the most loving way possible. And the first thing you do when you pick up your phone is you have 4 texts from 4 of your best friends saying that you're an absolute beast and that you're gonna go kill it today. And instead of going downstairs and eating some boring and bland food, your private chef cooks you the most delicious protein-packed meal that's not only tastes great, but it's gonna make you perform better at the gym and also make you feel better. Now, when it comes to work, after all of what I've just talked about, when it comes comes to actually sitting down and doing the work, how much more likely are you to be focused and dialed in on the work that you have at hand after a morning like that? The most beautiful view you just looked at, your beautiful girlfriend just woke you up and said good morning and said that she loves you. You open up your phone and see 4 texts from your 4 best friends that you love so much that said that you're an absolute champion and that you're going to be successful in whatever you do in life. And the first food that you put in is protein packed, and it's going to make you look better and feel better for your work. That scenario that I just painted you, how much more likely are you going to be when it comes down to sitting down to focus and cranking out hours worth of work? So the point that I'm trying to make is that when you deprive yourself in monk mode and you're just locked in a room and your life is already depressing as is, and you stack this monk mode protocol on it, you're denying yourself from experiences. And these experiences are what leads to creativity and consistency. And both of these things are super important to build anything worthwhile. Whether it be just a stupid dropshipping store or starting an agency or starting a YouTube channel like this where you're recording a video, you need those experiences to fuel your creativity to keep you going. In order to keep going, you need an element of passion and creativity that completely comes from your lifestyle. When you have nothing to draw from, when you have no experiences or no sort of emotion at all, whether it be good or bad, you have nothing to use you to fuel you to do these hard tasks that you don't want to do. By living a more exciting life on a day-to-day basis, it fuels you to do these boring tasks. It fuels you to do these boring tasks that you don't want to do on an everyday basis. In order to be successful and in order to be focused and do the hard work when you don't feel like it, you have to be in a good place here. And in order to be in a good place here, you have to be at peace with not only yourself, but with your current life. If you're trying to escape your life by just working really hard and by scrolling and doing all of these things, it's not going to work. You need to be in a good place here in order to be not only creative, but also to be consistent. Now, I'm going to give you another scenario. Are you one of these people that when you work, you feel like you're being unsocial? You think on a Friday night, should I go out or should I stay in and work on my business? Or should I go out or stay in and study? The reason that you think about this so much, or the reason that you think about girls so much when you're studying or working, and you're thinking that you're being unsocial, the reason for this is that you don't have enough experiences yet. This is something that most people on social media and self-improvement do not tell you. The reason that you think, should I be going out or should I be staying in, is because you're not social at all right now. You don't have enough experiences to say that I'm fulfilled with the amount of socialization that I've gotten from the past, that I'm okay to sit down and work right now. If you think about this all the time, should I stay in or go out? My honest advice is that you should go out. The reason for this is that after 2, 3, 4 weeks of going out, you would have socialized enough to realize, okay, this was good, but also it's not that great. And by me staying in, I'm really not missing much. Now you have this experience and you have this information to tell yourself, okay, now I'm good. I've fulfilled that little void. So now I can sit down and actually do the hard work that's required. But if you're one of these people that says, no, you should grind, you don't have that information and those experiences to draw on to actually sit down and do the hard work. Now, in no way am I telling you to just goof off and just have experiences, to only go out, to only hang out with friends. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying that you should be productive for most of your days, but what I am saying is to not deprive yourself of experiences. Do not stop hanging out with friends. Don't try to not go out on dates or not trying to talk to girls, or do not try to limit yourself from eating tasty food or not drinking alcohol. Obviously limit these things, but you want to draw from these experiences because these experiences are what give you life, and life is what you need in order to do the hard work when you don't feel like it. When you don't have life, you can't do work, and life influences your work and not the other way around. You need to have fullness and openness, which you simply will not get from doing monk mode alone. You need these experiences to give you that creativity, to give you that passion, to sit down and do the work, especially when you do not feel like it. Focusing is so much easier when you're full, when you're open, when you're just working out of passion because you've lived a beautiful life and now it's time to sit down and work. You're so much more likely to be locked in because you're just so much more satisfied with life. And you'll be so much more successful living a more interesting life and having that influence your habits rather than the other way around. So I just wanted to clear up all of this misinformation about monk mode, and how honestly, for those of you who are on monk mode right now who have probably tried but honestly ultimately fail even more, the reason for that is because your life right now is pretty terrible. And I honestly suggest that you get some more life experience, you improve your life quality first, and then you sit down for a little period of time to get work done. Hopefully this video helps and clears up that misinformation out there. This is something that I really only realized late in this journey, and I wanted to give it to you guys before it's too late. And if you guys got any value from this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.